time to finish up the planters. So the planters are ready. Have a look. So these are basically just broken down pallets. Strip the pallet down and then use the panels, put a little support bracket in here. So that's literally a 2x2, and then drill the wood into the frames here. So really quite simple. So this is about just over a meter by 40 centimeters. So these are ready now. We need to fill them. So that's the whole point of this now, is how we're going to fill these. So I haven't put a bottom on there. So what we're going to do is need fabric. Now this is the cheap stuff from B&M. 8 meters by 1.5, £3.50, but it is the cheap stuff. It's literally like a little cloth. The more expensive stuff is like a tarpaulin type, but what we'll do is we'll just double it up. So this is what's going to go on the bottom, right, like this here, to keep the weeds out, because obviously the weeds will just come out from here and get into your soil. Okay, literally I haven't even measured or anything. I've just put it over the bed. I'm just going to cut off on the side here and leave it hanging to the space for it here. We're going to secure it. We're going to secure it to the bottom of the bed. And how I'm going to do it is very simply with a staple gun. Right, so you can see at the frames there, this will just go in there. Okay, that'll hold it there. And this, you can see here, we've triple layered it. Right, just folded it over, because otherwise you can see that, I mean, that might do the job, but it's quite thin and we've got enough of it. So there we go, one there. Okay, so that's the corners done. So what I'll do is I'll just flip it over and put some in. You can see here around the edges here, so like that. There. Nice. Okay, good. So that's it now. So you can see here, I've just stapled it all in, and you know that's pretty thick there because obviously it's there's 3 layers there. So that's ready now to start filling. Now, like I said, this is 2 pieces of the pallet wood. So let's see, I mean, how deep is this bed? It's like 20 centimeters deep. Like I said, it's 1.2 meters wide, 4 feet. So that's going to be quite a bit of compost, but we've got a way to overcome that. So we'll do that now. We're going to fill it now. Now, you can see that it's pretty deep, but here's what's going in. So, first of all, we've got some garden soil. Now this, it's not compost, it's not any organic matter or anything like that. It's literally from Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, someone did some work to their garden and they said we've got loads of soil to get rid of for free. So I went down, scooped it all up into these sacks, and that is, you can see, I mean, it's alright, it's half decent, but there's clumps in there. So we'll chuck that in there. We'll mix it up with some actual compost as well, so some all-purpose. But even that, still, even if you do it 50-50, it's still a lot of compost. So the other thing we're going to do is just at the bottom of the bed, just fill up with branches like this. Now these are quite big actually, so I'll cut them. And these will decompose in the bottom of the bed anyway. Right. Alright, so look, this is the initial layer, pretty much done. So you can see what I'm talking about here. Alright, I mean that's going to take up, it's probably already taken up about a third of the bed. And this is just like matter from around the garden. So obviously we've got some branches, pruning, some bits all from different shrubs and stuff from around the garden. Yeah, so that's the initial layer. That's it. Alright, okay, actually a point to mention here is obviously just make sure this isn't any weeds or anything like that going in there, yeah? So this is all, like I said, it's clippings, trimmings that I've lopped off from the plum tree that I've got there, and some of these vines and stuff like that, right? So make sure there's no weeds. Alright, so now we're going to make the actual soil mix. So like I said, I've got this garden soil. Just make sure there isn't any crap in there. Now you could literally just chuck that in there, then chuck that in there, and mix it around, but because of this, it's not going to be very easy to mix around in there in situ. So we're going to build it up here in this bucket, mix it all up, and then pour it in. I'd rather tip the whole thing in, but this bag is so heavy. It won't be here forever. Yeah. There we go. And then we're going to mix that in. Put in some fertilizer. So what we've got here is fish blood and bones. So this is a feed here. And literally all you're doing is just going to sprinkle some in. So it's got all potassium, nitrogen, calcium, all the minerals. So fish, blood and bone is good. If you got a root veg going in, bone meal is probably better because it helps with the root growth, makes strong roots. So as I'm mixing up these mixing up the soil and the compost, I'll be scooping this in as well. Okay. Bit of compost. I'll layer this a bit more now. Bit of compost. And the soil. Yeah. Bit of blood, fish and bone. Bit of soil. And then alright. And mix. Do you think that'll work? Let's have a look. Oh, it's mixing. Bubble, bubble. What is it? Hubble, bubble, boil and trouble. Oh, look, see, so some of this has got, I don't even know what that is, some sort of nylon. So that's from this bag of soil. So obviously these kind of things we'll just have to take out from the free bag of soil from the dude's garden. There we go. Right, a few things to bear in mind. Now obviously I'm putting this in, but there is feed in the compost, yeah? So you see on here it's got feed in there for a 4-month feed for fruit and veg. So it's got that feed in there. And also, the other thing is, you know, bear in mind, certain plants, they only need a certain depth, yeah? So some root structures, they need what, 6 inches, 8 inches, all of that, right? So depending on what's going in your raised bed, you're not actually, you know, you don't actually need to fill all of it with soil, right? Which is why we've got the branches in here, because roots will only go to a certain depth. It only needs a certain depth for it. Okay, this one to go in. Oh. Right, that's it. Next one we're going to do is we'll come to the top of it now, so you can see it's fairly well filled seen some worms in there as well, so that means that the soil is good. But we're coming to the top of it, so it's literally the last like sort of 8 centimeters here. Now for the last like third of it, I want more of the compost, yeah, rather than my actual the soil that I've got, just the garden soil. So more of the compost there as we get to the top. So you'll see the consistency of this as I pour it out. So you can see there is still some of that garden soil in there, but it's more of the compost there. And these big bits, just chuck them out, put them in the start of the other bed. So there we go. That's it. Got going in here. This specific bed is these bad boys here, shallots. So that's the reason I'm getting a move on, actually, because they're already starting to shoot. So the shallots are going to go in here, but shallots need about 20 centimeters of soil. So once I get to about 20 centimeters, filling it up, then that'll be enough. So this bed is 20 centimeters deep. So this one I'm going to fill to the top. But obviously, depending on what you've got going in, you might not need to fill to the top. You'll probably fill up to where it is right now. Okay, so let's just fill it up a little bit more. Okay, so there we go. That's the bed filled. So you can see we've got 20 centimeters worth. It's pretty much filled to the top now. That is, and I reckon I've got through, I'd say 25, about 150 litre bag of compost. So half of this one, probably less than half of this because I've been filling that one up, and half of my grow shawl bag. The rest of it has been quite a few branches and some just garden soil that I got off Facebook Marketplace. So there you go, that's the raised bed filled. Now it's ready. This one is going to take some shots.